Round number 10 of the Lewis Hamilton career mode on F1 24 brings us to the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. Guys, if you haven't seen the previous video in Canada, link in the top right. Secret meeting along with also the race of the season so far. Absolutely insane, wet to dry race. Go watch it with an insane last lap. Link in the top right before we jump into major spoilers. But without further ado, let's get into this episode, guys, at the Spanish Grand Prix, where downforce is king. A very high downforce circuit where you have to be good in the corners. And we have updates. A new championship rivalry. With who? Well, Max Verstappen. Of course. Why not? It's written in the stars. We are going to do a rerun of 2021 in what seems to be the battle for the title. Rating rivalry with Charles Leclerc, of course both 90 rated, trying to get to 92. And then of course we have our teammate rivalry with George Russell. We level up on our pace to 89, so gradually improving and getting closer and closer to that 91 overall ranking, and no change on recognition. As a lot is happening right now, a lot is happening. Also, we hit our specialist targets and we actually level up our wind tunnel engineer. So we now have wind tunnel engineer level 1 and also manufacturing expert level 1. So we're starting to make some progress. Speaking of which, for this weekend, the manufacturing expert, we're going to ask for 153 kilometers throughout the whole weekend to be driven. Very simple. For the wind tunnel, we're going to open DRS for more than 50 seconds during a race weekend, which is pretty easy. That should get done in qualifying. Then material fabrication planner for this one, complete 5 laps in practice sessions. Again, race strategy program will take care of that in FP1. And then of course the strategy analyst for this one, perfect the race strategy practice program, essentially hitting 2 birds with 1 stone compared to the one before. So with that all out of the way, I want to note one thing which is absolutely critical. This is going to be the last episode as things stand, because of course tomorrow a patch is dropping and we have a performance update, a rebalancing, and if it's done accurately, I think Mercedes might drop down a little bit in the order, so we might have a bit of a hit on performance for the next episode. So we'll see what happens. It also depends if I get the video recorded before the patch drops tomorrow. Either way, that could happen. In the meantime, we took care of updates. I purchased a turbo reliability upgrade and we simmed ahead to Spain. Now the focus on upgrades is going to be on durability for the short term, as we need to kind of get rid of some of those discounts. And you know, this weekend we do have a triple upgrade on the car, so a very big upgrade package from Mercedes this weekend between us and George bringing the updates, and you can see that is going to result in us getting really close now to Red Bull, extremely close. And I said it before, we've brought updates to every single race this season and we're still churning them out. We'll see when the streak ends. Either way, for now it's still working. In the championship, we've won the last 3 races. Hamilton has been on fire, and of course last race winning it on the line. And we're now just 7 points behind Max Verstappen, hence the new rivalry. So it's game on. And you know, we're not even at the halfway stage yet, which is round 12 of 24. So a lot going on in this season's championship, and I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, into practice, we're going to go and make some setup adjustments. And again, this is kind of my own interpretation of what I think is going to be the setup around here. Again, I don't know too well how setups work. Some of the things don't add up with what they are in real life, like tire pressures, but you know, just making a few tweaks and based off, you know, what time trial leaderboards set up for the track. And we're going to test this out in the race strategy program. As always, you can see here, just setting up my tire pressures, which is going to be key here because tire overheating is a big factor. You can see here on my last lap of the race runs, you can see my front left is really worn, and it's not just worn, also the tire temperature is absolutely through the roof. You'll see now 127.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Absolutely insane. Like the front left was just overheating like crazy. You can see the tire wear is pretty high, fuel pretty high as well, so nothing's looking too great in terms of, you know, setting the car up for the race. So we'll make a lot of adjustments on setup to try and get the car dialed in and get it in the right window. With that done though, practice finished and we got 19th, which is a bit of a concern considering the upgrades we brought to the car this weekend. We do pick up 300 R&D points, doubling our current total, and we also of course picked up some more experience on our driver stats. So practice done, intro done, updates done. Let's get into qualifying. Let's see what our pace is.
Hello everyone, it is a track the drivers know oh so well. It is qualifying in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Now our pace wasn't too good. I was a bit concerned after practice. So again, I've dialed up Sim Racing Center and we have got their race set up on. Again, link down below guys to my affiliate code and also my discount code if you want to get setups for particular tracks in F1 24. And we are running the Spain setup in this one, and we're going purple in Sector 2 on the mini-map. So starting off strong here in Q1, looking to try and get back on the pace a little bit after that practice session. And we're going to see now as we open DRS, over the line we go, and it's a 1:11.5, and that is a bit more like it. Also decent temperatures, decent tyre wear, so a good start. We finished Q1 in P5, Verstappen setting the pace with a 1:11.2, and yeah, Russell just behind us in P6. No big surprises, so no dramas, and we get straight into Q2. So back on it again, looking at the second split, we're 8 tenths up, nearly 9 tenths up on Daniel Ricciardo in P11, purple in Sector 2 again on the mini-map. So we're looking to try and hopefully go a bit quicker than in Q1 and to try and close out the lap as we lose the back end over the invisible bump on the curb. I've seen a million clips of those on Twitter, but it's never happened to me until now. So we bail out, abandon the lap and go back to the pits. You can see right now we need a 1:11.8 to get through. So we'll go back out on those same tyres because we didn't even complete the lap. They've got about 3 to 4% wear, which should be about 5 by the time we start the lap, so not too bad. Anyway, let's go for it and try to hopefully clean up the lap and the mistake. We know where the bump is. It's if you take a lot of curb on the outside, so you want to kind of keep the car a bit more on the inside, a bit more narrow heading into the penultimate corner. So for now, making our way through Sector 1 using the majority of our overtake in this sector. According to the map, we go purple again, so a 0.573 in the first. Now onto the brakes as we head into turn 5. Little lock up on the left front on the way in, but we still make the apex as we get a decent exit. Now through 7 and 8, left, right, over the curbs, car responding nicely, and now turn 9. Completely flat, back on the battery as we now head down towards turn 10, brake at about 195 meters, give or take. Purple again, half a second up on Lance Stroll in P11, and now through turn 11, 12. And this time we're going to make sure we stay a bit more on the inside here and kind of get off the curb a bit earlier through 13 and now 14 to close out the lap, and we get the DRS open now, and across the line we go, and it's a 1:11.2, and we go P2, and that's a bit more like it. And again, showing improvement over Q1. We go about 2 tenths quicker, and you can see we finish in second place. Russell P4, Alonso at home setting the pace, and no big surprises. Both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes, both Red Bulls, both Aston Martins into Q3. So a pretty straightforward session. We now move into Q3. Fresh set of tyres once again. 1:11.299 was our time in Q2 as a benchmark. This time we do a 1:10.8, but it's only good enough for P2 as now Carlos Sainz, the other Spaniard, has rocked up and set a pretty insane lap time. So fair dues, we are looking pretty decent right now. Only 2 cars in the 1:10 10s. We have a purple middle sector, so definitely we're gonna have to push. I don't know where all the time is, but we'll give it a shot. Either way, let's get into it. Final lap in qualifying. Can we get pole again? Let's find out.
excellent lap. We're all very, very pleased with that one. Nice work. Come on, I'll see you back in the pits.
Get in there, Lewis. He does it again. What a lap. Really, really good lap. The car was beautiful. No mistakes. Very smooth. And the car just responding to everything I was doing. And overall, we get a really good lap time there. 1 minute 10.616. Pole by 0.2 over Sainz. Russell only P8. So interesting. Mixed up grid. Should be fun. Either way, we get that pole which we need. And hopefully we can try and convert it into possibly a 4th race win in a row. Anyway, qualifying done. Let's get into the race.
Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya has been on the calendar for over 30 years now, and it has served up some classics. Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari in 1996 in the rain. We have much better weather here today for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the long run down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging here, to put it mildly. There are 16 corners, but there's still a lot of drama and excitement to be found out there on track. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Albon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Magnussen, and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside us for this one is Naomi Schiff. Well, Lewis Hamilton on screen there. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
4 in a row. Can we complete that here today? 4 race wins on the bounce. We're going to find out. Max Verstappen, our main rival, is right behind us in P3, directly behind us. Sainz is the wildcard in P2, and we'll see how Leclerc gets on as well. Either way, starting from pole, the best place to be. Racing line start as well. Our starts have been pretty decent so far in this game, so I think we should be hopefully pretty decent. We're going to need a good start because it's a pretty long run down to turn 1, so we need to make sure we get away well. Strategy for this one is going to be a simple one-stop. Much like the rest of the races in this game, the one medium to hard is the way to go. I will say, tyre wear seems to get really bad on mediums towards the second half of the stint, so we may pit earlier for hards, which seem to be a bit more durable. One thing to note is I did my race runs on my other setup, so the fact we're now on SRC might change things a little bit in terms of the race sims. Either way, because of that, I've put a bit more fuel in the car, 0.6, as I'm running more wing than I was back then. We'll see if it works. Either way, let's get into it and let's send it. Tyres are a bit cold, especially on the rear. Trying to get a last bit of warm-up going, but that's as good as it's going to get. And they're going to cool off on the grid, so definitely not ideal. Anyway, let's get to it. Right then. Perfect grid lineup. Can we get a perfect start? Not exactly perfect. Bogged down a bit too much.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Oh my god, through the middle, 3 wide, and we come out on top. That was absolutely huge. Verstappen on the outside, Sainz on the inside, but we made it work. Right then, let's see now if we have pace. Obviously, tyres are still a bit cold, so we've got to try and get them warmed up. They are going to have perfectly warm tyres at this stage. They're going to have the advantage. Perez battling with Alonso back there. That might cause a break in the train. Oh, a bit wide through turn 7 as we now head through 9. Should be flat even in race trim. Yes, it is. Sainz not close enough to challenge here. Let's see if we can try and get comfortable. I want to see what my straight line speed is like. I don't think it's going to be great. I've gone quite aggressive on the wing. Let's see. I want to see if the front corner is also not flat, almost flat. Little downshift, there we go. That's quick enough, and it gives us a decent exit.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Right, straight line speed is fine. It's manageable. Obviously, it will be a bit trickier now with DRS, but it tells me we're doing alright. Let's try and now set the pace. Right, Sainz, DRS. We go quick, but Alonso goes quickest of them all. Sainz closing. We're just going to hold the inside for now. I don't know if we have pace to break away, so we could be in this little train battle the whole race, or at least during the first stint. Sainz a lot closer this time, a lot sooner. We'll match him up in the top end of the straight line speed. Verstappen trying to get in on the act as well. We go around the outside of turn 2, leaving space through turn 1 for Carlos, but we hang on for now. Realistically, I don't know if I'm going to keep this going because, you know, we're just having an inefficient race. We could always just let Sainz of Verstappen go and kind of sit behind. Could be an option. First time fully flat through the final corner there. Already the fuel load coming down. Tyres are holding on. We're not overheating, which is good. Sainz closing, but not enough. Verstappen now trying to put a move on. We'll see if maybe they lose some time. We can try and break away. Yep, they're side by side. This is good. Seems like Sainz managed to hold on there. Just hit the inside curb a bit too much on the inside of turn 9. Got a bit of understeer.
Okay, Lewis, engine's running very hot. Engine very hot. Let's try and pull out from behind the car in front and cool things down.
It's not the engine I'm worried about. All of a sudden, the front left is just starting to ramp up uncontrollably. Sainz close again. Using all the battery, but Sainz has got a big bit of overspeed this time. Trying to hold on the brakes, and we do manage to brake late enough to hang on. Now Verstappen goes through, or tries to go through on Sainz. Well, Max is going straight through here. He's super close. I don't have a lot of battery, so we'll give him a squeeze, but there's not really much to fight with here. Sainz also getting involved, and Alonso having a look as well, but we'll fall into third. We'll see if we can manage things a bit better from here. Almost got dropped out of DRS range.
Great stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. It's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down.
Checo getting his pace up out of nowhere. He was out of the DRS train, but Red Bull into the 13s, looking very strong around here. Front left is getting really hot. Struggling massively now. When I get close, I can feel that dirty air. For the first time in this game, I can really feel it around here, and the front left just skyrockets in terms of temperature. Really just trying to hang on here. The minute I think I get dropped, I'm going to box.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Also, engine is getting uncontrollably hot as well. Some of these things, of course, will get fixed in the patch tomorrow, hopefully. But at the minute, we're just trying to make things work. I don't mind a bit of a struggle in this season. Pull back in there. Trying to get away multiple times. Pit stop window just around the corner now. We've made it pretty much. So Sainz will lead us in if we will box, which I'm expecting all of us to box.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Yep. Leave me to it, Mark. I'm on it, mate. Right, here we go. Who's in? Max is in. Sainz stays out. No bump in the pit entry. Slow it all down. Beautiful. Right, let's see if Max maybe gets held here. Having the first pit box might be a hindrance. 2.5, good stop. Oh, we're just out behind. Just, but we did gain in that stop. Right, rejoining on the hards then.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Let's stick with Max. Absolutely critical that we follow him and don't let him get away. And then we'll see where Sainz rejoins at the end of the lap when he boxes for you, giving Leclerc preference. So let's see how that works out. Right then, everyone should be in, unless someone started on hards. We're going to be racing at pit exit, so we have to try and stay close to Verstappen here. It's been a tricky out lap on cold tyres, but we should have them nicely warmed now. Right, here we go. Carl's leaving the pits, but we are out well ahead of Sainz. Sainz is going to drop back quite a bit, so Hamilton versus Verstappen. Oh boy, at Spain. Shades of 2021. Verstappen running a very strong pace right now. We're pulling away from Sainz and Perez, so they can't catch up. So it's a 3-car breakaway, along with Alonso, who's been, flying under the radar, but been pretty competitive all weekend. So really, it's in our best interest to just sit behind Max and let him run the pace. I'm not quicker than him, so if we want to get away from the cars behind, this is the best way to do it. Let's see. So far, tyre temps look okay, but they are still rising. Verstappen almost about to drop me here. Having to use battery to push. He's really quick. Also, tyre temps now starting to get pretty high on the front left, breaking the 120 barrier. We'll start overheating soon. Perez, Sainz working together really nicely. They're not dropping away anymore. They're kind of keeping up. 13.4 personal best. 13.0 from Perez. That's bloody quick. Hello. Alonso with a dive. Luckily, I was prepared. I've been doing that every lap, but this time Alonso didn't want to lift and coast. He just went for the lunge. Fair play. At the moment, it looks okay. The front left is hanging in there, floating around 123, just like in the previous stint, but because we're on the hards, we're not overheating. Max might break away here though. Got to be aggressive over those curbs to try and gain time. If we can just hang on until the last lap when, the AI seem to have low battery, we might have a chance, but we've got quite a few laps to go yet until that time arrives. Sainz and Perez ain't going anywhere. I mean, you've quite clearly got Formula A and Formula B. Formula B on the pit straight. Formula A, all of us between turn 4 and turn 5. Literally so close. Double shift. Verstappen might get a bit of a break here. No, we hold on. Aggressive through the 7-8 chicane. Just a few more laps, come on. We're hanging in there. 2 to go. We'll see if now Max turns it up at any point, or if this is all the pace he's got. I'm also keeping my front left in check. Pace is super consistent. I mean, we're matching our personal best. Tyre wear is fine. Let's see if we can try and prepare this. Max defends thin air. Let's get ready now for the final push. I want to try and see if I can get close and try to pass on the pitch straight rather than leave it for the back straight in case I don't make it. We nearly got caught out last race, but I'm struggling there with the rears. Max has opened up a bit of a gap. Full send for the final corner. Here we go. Last lap of the race. Can we get it? I think we are close enough. We've got good straight line speed. Using everything. Look at the speed difference. We breeze past. Absolutely walk past. 2021 Mercedes engine back in this thing. And straight through we go. Now can we defend it? Verstappen on the charge. Does he have anything left to defend with? Or are we going to make it 4 wins in a row? And possibly tie in the championship, but take the lead on countback due to more race wins. Just keep a little bit of charge back for the next straight to defend with. We're decent through the 7-8 chicane. And now through turn 9 and keep it flat. Keep it pinned. And now on the battery. Yeah, we've got it. We've got the battery. If this happens out, keep it tidy now. Final part of the lap. Come on. Easy does it. Through 13. Flat. Oh, we hit the bump again like in practice or qualifying. Oh my god, that could have been a disaster. What a save. And we win it. 4 in a row.
Still got it.
Another brilliant performance behind the wheel. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag.
Wow, 4 wins in a row. I mean, I do say wow, but I'm not that surprised because it is the 4th one in a row. Maybe this is getting a little too predictable. Come on, competitors, step it up.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So there we go, race results in, and there's confirmation of the victory. Verstappen second, Alonso third, and then everybody else a bit further down the pack. George Russell P7, Lando P8 with the fastest lap of the race. And that kind of tells you the story. The top 10 positions always taken up by the same 5 teams: McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin. Bottom line, that is the kind of pace these cars have. Anyway, let's delve into the standings, because after that win, I believe we tie on points with Mr. Max Verstappen on 199. But of course, on countback, we've won more races. I think we've won 7 races, or 6 races now, I think, actually. So we'll take it. A really, really good race. Another where we basically maximise the result. The pace wasn't fully there, but we did enough, and that's what matters. In the constructors, we're 18 points behind, and we now pretty much have a 100-point lead over Ferrari, which is now starting to sound a bit menacing for the red team, so they might need a bit of help next season. Either way, game on in the championship, both championships. A 2021 rerun is in the works. We'll see what happens, guys. On screen, you're going to have the driver rivalries right now versus Max versus Leclerc, the recognition battle versus Russell, and of course our driver stats going up hopefully quite a bit, getting very close now to level 91, really close after that result, and also of course our specialists. But guys, cheers for watching, like and subscribe for more F1 24 content. As always, a big shout out to the channel members for supporting all the content. Check out the links down below for discounts and affiliates, and also videos on screen, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and let's goodbye from me. Adios.